cause I'm a different breed, they call me alien.
What's good, plebeians, libtarbs, anons, and other base individuals? How you doing? We're gonna continue the rest of this series. I'm gonna try to get this done so we can at least have our first series under the belt. Alright? Now let us continue with part 3 of the Nephilim Look Like Clowns. Let's get it. I got to drink this time. Pete, it's light outside. I ain't doing the late night. That shit scared me. Ooh. I'm kidding, but maybe I'm not. He's gonna tie Chucky into this. Please make more references. Please make more references to the Illuminati card game.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back for another episode.
Hello.
Today, we're going to be talking about the Nephilim Look Like Clowns, Part 3.
Trace.
And I'm just going to be building off of ideas put
Forgot the addiction stick.
in the previous 2 videos. I would recommend watching those before this one. But the basic premise is that the modern day clown might actually draw a lot of inspiration from the Nephilim of the past in both appearance and behavior.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am. It's crazy. I swear it's always the music artists who are just super duper aware. I like to say woke sometimes, but like woke has gotten a negative connotation nowadays.
And also we talked about how the Freemasons, they have a couple of offshoots, one being the Shriners, who seem to be focused on clowns and circuses, and then another branch called the Royal Order of Jesters, and of course links to jokers. So just this whole phenomena, it's really interesting the more you look into it. But just sort of doing a little more digging, there's also this link between clowns and this Lady of Guadalupe, and I believe that's supposed to be an equivalent to the Virgin Mary, if I'm not mistaken. But for some reason,
I thought that was the Virgin Mary.
There's this clown pilgrimage to this particular basilica. I think it's in Mexico City. But all these clowns go on a pilgrimage, and they go to this basilica to give thanks to this Our Lady of Guadalupe, and I believe she's a patron saint of Mexico. But I understand the concept.
I need to look more into that. There's a lot, I've noticed there are a lot of references throughout the world, let me rephrase that. There are a lot of different cultures around the world that have references to things that are very similar to other things that, as an amateur theologist, philosopher, just crazy conspiracist, I've always wanted to learn so much shit about all of these things. So I would love to do some more research on the clown pilgrims of Our Lady Guadalupe.
Of giving thanks, but why?
Not the exact same
clowns?
article.
Are there other professions also, going on pilgrimages to churches and giving thanks to this Lady of Guadalupe? It doesn't seem like it. So it's just really odd to me. You have this link between clowns and this Lady of Guadalupe, and there's some really just bizarre photos, but I just wanted to mention that real quick. And what I wanted to do is expand on this one topic I brought up in part 2. And you have certain movie filmmakers such as David Lynch, and he has of course been responsible for TV shows like Twin Peaks and movies like Eraserhead, and he's got a YouTube channel, but he is just fond of this particular pattern. It shows up.
Wait, hold on. David Lynch has a YouTube channel? I gotta watch it. That's on the next list. Look, we got some more things on the list. Also, I'm gonna try to grind the rest of these out today, so be warned, I may be wearing this same shit these next few videos. Don't cook me in the comments, okay? I get it. But I would like more constructive comments than just, why the fuck you wearing the same shirt? Bleeds a blort, but Beluka Blika. All right, Nas, let's go.
In a lot of his work, and it's this zigzag pattern, and I featured this in part 2. But you also have this phenomena called liquid crystal polarization, and you have this phenomena where during certain interviews, people would be talking, and 1 second
I'm not streaming this episode, at least yet. I might stream later. That's why you guys don't see the chat bubble above my head. I ain't got nobody in here talking this time, so
would appear normal, and then the next minute you would see all these zigzagging black and white patterns forming over them. And I think in part 1 I showed a video of someone drawing I think it was like
Beetlejuice,
an alien or a demon, and this black and white figure sort of manifested behind him, and I think I was just showing an image of Beetlejuice here, and there's just seems to be something with this black and white pattern. And in part 2 I think I talked about, in the music video Don't Come Around Here No More by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Bro, have y'all noticed, like, a lot of these older music videos have a higher production value? Like, music videos nowadays, they are occasionally really, like, intricate and have meaning to them. But, like, majority of the people, especially, like, artists who are, like, smaller like me, they don't try to make, like, a story with their music video. They just add a whole bunch of effects and stuff. Like, I like the plug and be vibe, but it feels like majority of, like, the music video industry within the music video directors within the music industry, for the smaller people who aren't, like, spending millions of bucks, don't try to add a story to their video. I like the plug and be vibe. I like the way, like, you teleporting across the screen even though you just in your crib doing something. But bro, like, add the story. I make, like, my music may be trash, right? But, like, I still like to add a little bit of, like, flavor to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I add my sauce to it. I haven't dropped a video yet, but when I do drop a music video, I might drop one on here. Let me know in the comments if y'all want one. But when I do drop a music video, bro, I'm gonna make sure that shit's saucy. You feel me? I want to have something that's, like, unique. Like, this is something impeccable. Off topic as hell, but let's continue.
Where you have this dimension, and he plays the Mad Hatter, and you've got the zigzag patterns and checkerboard, and again, people who take DMT, they see gestures and jokers, and they'll talk about seeing fractals and patterns like this. So this zigzag pattern seems to have something to do with this other dimension. And I just talked about in part 2 how in Twin Peaks there was this interdimensional entity called Bob who would he was a possessing spirit, and in this interdimensional space you had these zigzag patterns again, just like you did in this music video. So keeping that in mind, there was this TV series that came out, I think it was this year, called Chucky, and you've got that evil.
That shit was saucy. If y'all didn't watch the series, watch it.
Possessed.
I love horror. Gotta watch it.
Redheaded doll, right? Chucky. And in this particular series, this boy ends up coming into contact with Chucky, and this one particular bedroom is featured a lot, and it's this boy's bedroom, but like the patterns of the checkerboard the zigzag patterns just are prevalent in this room. And again, you have back here, this Bob was a possessing spirit, and you have these zigzag patterns, and you've got this possessed red-headed pale-faced doll, and these zigzag patterns, and just bizarre. And this particular room shows up in several episodes, so it's not just like one particular scene. And I'm just scrolling through some of the different episodes with this bedroom featured, but yeah, just really weird, and just makes you wonder if that is by design. But moving on, speaking of possession, the movie The Exorcist, obviously based on a book by William Peter Blatty, I think it was 1971.
The only good Exorcist movie.
But I guess I didn't know this, that the novel was actually based on a real case from the 40s. And it was actually a boy that was affected in the 40s. And I just found an article talking about how a suburban boy's demonic possession inspired The Exorcist. But what caught my attention for the purposes of this video is that eventually, I believe this boy, they went through an exorcism and he was delivered from his oppression. But during a blessing, a priest was called, and during this first blessing that happened in 1949, and I don't think this is his real name, but the bed, as he was being blessed, his bed began to shake, and zigzag scratches suddenly appeared on his body. So again, just, we've got this concept of a possessing spirit, these zigzag patterns. You got this possessed doll, red-headed, pale-faced doll, and you got these patterns featured again. And then you've got apparently in real life a child who was going through some oppression on the verge of being possessed.
It's always Christianity, though. Okay, I know, like, this may be a stretch, though, but, like, have you ever noticed, like, Christianity is the main people who, like, do exorcisms. Like, in other cultures, though, like, they will find, like, they teach you ways to get rid of your demons yourself, whereas Christianity, like, I don't know if Judaism does as well, but Christianity, they have themselves, like, they have an like the Archbishop grants it, and then they have a priest come and do the exorcism. Whereas, like, if you go into, like, spiritual concepts or, like, Hinduism, it's more about yourself and how you can get rid of these entities and, like, avoid these entities yourself. I don't know, man. Like, I know Christianity tells you how to avoid them, but I need to look more into it. I need to look more into exorcisms and expelling negative entities from your body, because I haven't seen a lot of that from a whole bunch of different cultures. I've seen it from a few, but not a lot. Christianity is just so big that it overtakes majority of the other ones. Sorry, I'm ranting. Let's go.
Possessed, and he's getting these zigzag scratches appear on his body. So just, again, none of this is proof. We're just looking at things, but in light of what we're talking about, just really interesting. And I guess when he finally got delivered, there was an exorcism, and I guess it took place in this particular hospital. I think it's in St. Louis.
Bros.
I don't know if it's still around, but this was a photo I found of that particular hospital. Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that. And somebody actually sent me a comment that really struck a chord with me, and it was just the comment. It was based on my part 2 of the series. When you get a migraine, you see these zigzag patterns. Now, me personally, I don't get migraines. I've never had migraines, but I did experience this image on the right here. At one point, I was getting these zigzag patterns, and they appeared to be, like, right in front of my eye, but to the side a bit, but they were
migraines are giants trying to possess your body. Confirmed.
Colorful, and they were in these zigzag.
All jokes. This is in Minecraft. Remember that.
Patterns, and I just, I compartmentalized all that. I kind of buried it, but when this person mentioned seeing zigzags during migraines, that just really, I found that really interesting. So there's this fun, I guess, a term called ocular migraine, and it's used to cover several migraine subtypes that cause visual disturbances. They say that they can develop with or without accompanying pain of a classic migraine attack. But they talk about all the different things you might see, including zigzagging lines.
Again, y'all go look up Conspiracy R Us. I'm not trying to jip his stuff. This man's content is phenomenal for, like, his explanation. I like where he's going with this stuff, and I haven't even gone through the rest of his channel. I'm only doing this series right now, but I already like his content. He's very descriptive. He likes to explain himself. I enjoy that about his content. Look him up. Look up the series yourself so you can get it without me talking over it every 5 seconds. And you guys, like, Make your own conclusions. Don't draw whatever my crazy brain is bringing out.
So,
Okay.
man, just
Okay.
interesting. In light of what we're talking about now, these attacks,
annoying now. I'm kidding.
this phenomena, it's just chalked up to. I don't even know if they really give a good explanation, but I think there could be something more going on there. And there's different terms that you'll find associated with this. Fortification illusion. So people will see all kinds of interesting things during these ocular migraines, and migraine with aura. So people have depicted some of these, what they see, and just another rabbit hole. But I think there's probably more to this phenomena than what we're being told. I would tend to agree with.
There's more to everything than what we're being told. Why do you think majority of professions are called professions? Like the average person's not gonna know this. And we might have all this information. You could go research it a bit, but you'll never you'll never become a professional about it unless you're the one diving deep into that one subsect. I feel like we're in a time where, like, so I feel like we progressed. We regressed and then progressed as a society. Like, we originally were people who were trying to just learn everything, right? Like, think of like Plato. He was one of the best philosophers as well as a scientist. You know what I mean? Like, we were jacks of all trades. Then we end up deep diving. We end up like splitting off, and like each person started deep diving into one thing. And now we've all come back, and since we're all more connected, we're colluding together. Where a lot of us are becoming more jacks of all trades, but you still aren't in a way, because the information that we all have, like, we may have easier access to it, but we don't have access to in-depth analysis all the time. Like, we don't have access to just we don't have the lectures all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get all of that college information. You got to go to college. You know what I'm saying? They make it hard for you to like learn a lot of this shit. Back in the day, you ain't have to go to college. You could choose to go to college. You know what I'm saying? But you could still be smart as shit.
With that now, just briefly, real quick, while looking up all these different zigzag markings, and I came across this concept of medieval graffiti and these patterns, which were often
flower of life, tree of life, you know what I'm saying?
Found on or around baptismal fonts, and apparently they find a lot of these patterns in older houses, and it's believed that these were used to ward off evil spirits. And I mean, that does sound pretty ridiculous, far out, but in light
sacred
of
geometry,
a lot of the things I've sing, it doesn't actually seem so ridiculous anymore. But this something
makes sense. It's sacred geometry. It's in the name.
Thing called a hexafoil is a geometric design that is used as a traditional element of Gothic architecture. And like I said, circular scratchings in wood and rock designed to ward off evil spirits. And here's a hexafoil in stained glass window at Notre Dame. We see these all throughout a lot of these cathedrals and churches.
Thanks.
And I just wanted to mention it. I thought it was interesting in light of kind of what we're talking about. So I'll leave that with you, and I wanted to just do a quick update on the curious case of Bob.
Merge. We got more Illuminati card game lore.
Now, just one quick update. When I was looking in I can't remember if it was part 1 or 2, but I was talking about the Illuminati card game. And there's this one character who pops up on a lot of different cards called Bob. Now, this Bob apparently is the figurehead of the parody religion, the Church of the Subgenius, but he goes by Bob Dobbs. And a comment was kind of led me to what I'm going to talk about. And this Bob Dobbs, I guess there was a song released in the late 60s by a group called the Monkees off this particular album called Headquarters, but the lyrics in this particular song, and it's like a minute long, it's just over a minute long, it's not really even a song, but kind of more of a spoken word thing, but the lyrics, Mr. Dobalina, Mr. Bob Dobalina, and you have Bob Dobbs, Bob Dobalina.
Hold up, we're looking it up. I'm sorry, I got to.
How has Shopify enabled your
Oh
business
my
to scale?
god.
Shopify.
China Clipper calling Alameda. China Clipper calling Alameda.
Zilch.
China Clipper calling Alameda.
Self-defense. Never mind the furthermore, the plea is self-defense. Never mind the furthermore, the plea is self-defense.
People are intending. It is my opinion that the people are. It is my opinion.
All right, hold up. Let me not get DMCA. That's too much. That's too much. I'm not trying to get dropped now. All right. We back.
Lena. So on its own, I very well just added to the list of coincidences. And I guess somebody asked one of the band members on this particular Facebook page, who is Mr. Bob Dabalina in that track, Zilch? And what this band member just said, it was the name of a department store manager in San Antonio. And he just ends by saying, that's my story. So interesting, maybe. But where things sort of get a little more interesting is, I guess, in 1991, this particular artist, Del the Funky Homo Sapien, off this particular album, he released a
Bro, I'm too into memes.
single called Mr. Dabalina. And I should mention that this particular song draws inspiration and includes a vocal sample from that monkey song called Zilch. And
now I gotta look that up. Mr.
Dabalina, Mr. Dabalina,
Okay.
Mr. Bob Dabalina, Mr. Dabalina, Mr. Bob Dabalina, Mr.
There we go.
Dabalina, Mr. Bob Dabalina, Mr. Dabalina, Mr. Bob Dabalina,
Hey.
Mr. Dabalina,
Hey.
Mr. Dabalina, Mr. Bob Dabalina.
Oh. Hey.
Missing, I want to quit. You really make me sick.
Bro, back in the day, bro. Don't get me started. Don't even get me started.
when you look at some of these lyrics, the chorus is very similar. Instead of Mr. Dabalina, it's Mr. But it's very similar. But when you get to some of
That's
these
the
other
same
verses,
thing, bro.
you got some really interesting references. One says,
I hate when they say I hate when just because the artist is black, they instantly change the lyric to Mr. Bro, it's the same word. Y'all just using slang. Slang is usually just the same word, just spoken in spoken in slang dialect. It's the same word, bro. It's the same word. Just come on now.
Mr. Dabalina
That's
is a
racist.
serpent. Don't you agree? And then this particular verse, it just says, but clowns
He's
and
aware.
the jesters and the
He is
secret societies.
Very
just
much
to
aware.
kind
Very much aware.
of complete the full circle here. But just really weird connection. These two different songs. This Bob from this card game, Bob Dabalina. Talking about Mr. Dabalina as a serpent, and Del is this artist, is not down with any clowns or jesters. I'm sure there's some more to that, but I just wanted to bring that to you guys.
I guess I'm gonna have to do a deep dive on Del. That's personal though. I can't do the music stuff on the channel.
And, I thought it was interesting, but this is going to be a shorter video. But I think that's all I have for you today. So until next time, take care. Bye.
Adios, my boy. Make sure y'all donate to this man. This man is going crazy, bro. This man is going nuts, Oh my. Okay. Well, you already know. We're dead. I'm dead. You're dead. Oh. Forgot to change it back. It don't matter. Y'all heard the rest. You're dead. I'm dead. We're all dead. D3 plus 4 equals 7. It's the year of the 7. We killing all the demons. You feel me? So, adios, my guys. See you guys in the next one.
You're dead in my eyes once you try to play. No, there ain't no saving. You'll die in your place. Try to walk all over me. I am not a doormat. Trying to talk down on me. I'ma just ignore that. Hopping in the whip quick. I'm turning ignition. Swerving right past him. I'ma have to ditch. Send him to the ICU. This blade gon' dissect him. I'm a big baller. Young David Beckham.